Hello ladies and gents, it's Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 video, and today I wanted to cover off player cards. Okay, so you may notice against each player there's you can train them to be a certain type of player. So that's a goal poacher, a fox in the box, anchorman, offensive goalkeeper, defensive goalkeeper. It's varies player to player. So what it does, I'll cover off what each of these do, and then I'll tell you which ones actually have a really big effect and which ones don't. Okay, so goal poacher is basically a player who plays on the shoulder of the last defender. So this is ideal for players that have got a lot of pace. So you're looking at the sort of speed and explosive power. Explosive power is probably more important, which is your agility and acceleration. That's really important. So dummy runner. So this is a guy who will sort of drag defenders away. Again, it's best to have sort of explosive power and speed in that type of player to drag players away and make runs for your other strikers or attacking midfielders to get into the box. Fox in the box. This is basically someone who sits in the penalty area and looks for tap-ins or scoring opportunities. You can see there that it boosts the kicking power stat. So yeah, it gives you a better chance. Target man is sort of more like a Harry Kane type of player, or battering ram, a bit like Didier Drogba, Peter Crouch. Someone that you can sort of lump the ball up to. They'll fight off the defenders, a bit like Diego Costa against Portugal yesterday, who bullies the defenders and just can sort of bring the ball down using his strength. Ideally, you want players with high physical contact and strength on the ball stats. And obviously, jumping as well helps. So yeah, it just for sort of holding the defenders off and laying the ball off and starting your attacks that way. Creative Playmaker, classic number 10 and whole player, much the same to be honest. They all do pretty much the same thing. There's not a lot of difference between them, or that I've noticed. Ideally, prolific wingers. If you have wingers in your team, then just select this one. And I'll go into the sort of training aspect of it in a bit. But basically, it doesn't really make a lot of difference which you select. If you were to select classic number 10 for your winger, you may find them sort of drifting into that sort of attacking midfield area, but generally there's not a lot of difference you'll notice really. They'll mainly adhere to the tactics that you've already set, so that sort of overrides most of these anyway. Box to box, so this helps your player get up and back. Depends what you want them to do. If you want them to stay up in that sort of attacking field, then I wouldn't recommend selecting box to box, because they'll come back and help defend. So if it's an attacking fielder, I'd probably leave it as a whole player, classic 10 or creative playmaker. The destroyer role is basically someone who will sort of sit in the midfield and defence areas and just sort of try to break up play. Ideally you want someone with good physical contact to sort of knock them off the ball. Then we've got Anchorman. So this is one of the best ones that actually does work in PES. So they will literally stay back and help the defense while you're on the attack. So that's really useful. Build up is one I always select for my defenders, and I'll show you that, and I'll explain that in a minute anyway. So I'm going to talk about this sort of training aspect. Offensive fullback, so that helps your left and right backs get up the pitch more. If you do select defensive fullback, then they will stay back when you're attacking, and they're really disciplined at doing that. I was quite impressed. So if you want the back four to stay back, then or back five, whatever you've got in terms of your formation, then select defensive fullback. Extra front man. I think this only really applies when you've got corners and free kicks, that they'll actually go up. Because I was always worried that the defender would just keep going up every time you had the ball. But I don't think that's the case. I've selected it before and it doesn't seem to make a lot of difference. Like I said, they only seem to come up for corners and free kicks. Offensive goalkeeper and defensive goalkeeper. Not a lot of difference. Again, that's down to the training, and I will cover that off now as we go into focus training. So when you go, if I come back out a little bit. Okay, so you got training here. Let me just show you. So team management, training, and then you'll notice that each player is being trained in a different type of one of those cards. So you can see here, Hugo Lloris is an offensive goalkeeper. So his only options are balanced, offensive goalkeeper, defensive goalkeeper, and focus training. Now, the way I look at it is these two don't make a difference. Okay, the only difference is on the right hand side you'll see some up arrows. Okay, the more up arrows, the stronger the trainings in that area. So if I was playing as, you know, if I'm going to train Lloris, I look at the arrows towards the right hand side, the goalkeeping, the catching, the clearing, reflexes and coverage. So you can see the defensive goalkeeper is going to boost his reflexes, coverage and goalkeeping stats, but not so much the catching and clearing. Whereas defensive goalkeeper will improve his catching, clearing and goalkeeping stats. Now that is probably the better option because you can see there quite clearly that his clearing isn't very good. But his reflexes, coverage, catching and goalkeeping are. So I would probably select defensive goalkeeper for him. Okay, so like I said, those two don't really matter. You do have other options like focus training, but not really for goalkeepers as such. But I'll tell you when I'd use that anyway. What I would say is don't use balanced. Balance is absolutely pointless. Doesn't give you the sort of what you're looking for from each of these roles. So what you want each player to do, and it only boosts everything by one. So you may have a striker and you're training him in goalkeeping. So that's just a waste. So make sure no one's unbalanced. Okay, so let's start with these. So to be honest, Fox in the Box and Goal Poacher, they do, the differences are slight, but it depends what type of play you want. Now he was set up to be a Goal Poacher. I personally would prefer him to be a Fox in the Box because Goal Poacher, like I said, is sort of, you know, hangs on the plays on the last defender, plays on the shoulder of the last defender. So for Harry Kane, I'd rather be a Fox in the Box and be really dangerous in and around the box because he hasn't got the pace of, you know, you look at that, he hasn't got the explosive power or pace to be able to play that Goal Poacher role very well. So I'd either go Fox in the Box or Target Man. He's obviously a very physical player. So let's put him as a Fox in the Box. Ericsson. Okay, so I'm playing a sort of Christmas tree formation with 3 defensive midfielders and 2 attacking midfielders. And basically, to be honest, creative playmaker, classic number 10 and whole player all do the same thing pretty much. Except the main key difference is obviously the stats on the right hand side that's being increased. So the whole player has a bit more dribbling. See, the creative playmaker has lesser dribbling and higher low pass stats. So, but the classic number 10 has good low pass and lofted pass training. So that's probably why I went for the classic number 10. There's not a lot between the two. Then we got the defenders. Like I said, I just tend to choose build up mainly because of the training again. Defensive prowess and ball winning. That's the 2 most important stats for a defender in my opinion. You know, extra front man gives them additional physical contact and jump. Nah, I'm good, thanks. I'll go for a build-up for defenders. So when it comes to your midfielders, like I said, the creative playmaker, classic number 10 and whole player all the same. Box to box, yeah, so your player goes box to box. Again, it depends how and what formation you're playing, what you want to do with each player. So as I'm playing 3 defense midfielders, I think it's, yeah, Dyer. So what I'm going to do is change Dembele, because I don't want him to be an Anchorman as well, otherwise the players will sit too deep. I'll probably go box to box for him. Have Dyer as the Anchorman, and Wanyama is also another player who I'm going to have box to box, going box to box, because I want him to move up with the attacking midfielders in this sort of Christmas tree formation. So yeah, in terms of all the training types and player cards, I think that's everyone or everything covered. The only time I would use sort of focus training is for these sort of youngsters. If there's someone looking really promising, like say, I don't know, say for instance Rashford. Let's pretend this is Marcus Rashford. What I would do is go to focus training and boost his speed, because he's got about 90 speed, but if I boost it to like 99 very quickly, he's going to be very, very dangerous. And put him as a goal poacher once he reaches that sort of 99 speed and explosive power, and then put him to goal poacher. He plays on the last defender. He might not have the best shooting stats after that, but he will learn how to finish anyway over time. But it's getting the chances, and that would be really important. Anyway, I hope this sort of explains what these different roles do. Like I say, some are much of a muchness. They play much the same, and to be honest, it's more important about the actual training stats. Like I said, these arrows on the right hand side. What do you want to boost? You know, and I've covered all these in a different video. What they all mean, such as ball control, so that's your first touch, and so on and so forth. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.